Well, hello, my name is Katie Clark. I'm an assistant professor at Augsburg University. Could you please introduce yourself for the recording?
My name is Melvin James.
My name is Samantha Gibson, and I'm an AmeriCorps worker at Health Commons, just listening in.
So, thank you for joining us for the oral history project of the Health Commons.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get started, I would like to confirm that you consent to being interviewed and having the interview recording stored at Augsburg University, which will be made available to the public.
Agreed.
All right, great. So basically, can you tell me where you grew up and who you called family?
I grew up in Illinois. It's a little country called Sun River Terrace out in the country of Illinois, Kankakee, Illinois. And I've been raised there, born and raised there. Well, I've been born in Columbus, Mississippi, but I've been raised in Illinois since I was 5, 6 years old. Out in the country. Went to grade school in Memphis, Illinois. And went to junior high in Memphis, Illinois. And I graduated in Kankakee, Illinois, and Westview High School in Kankakee, Illinois. That's basically how I grew up. I had an awesome mom. You know, she was really awesome. She had a lot of survival skills for us. She raised 18 kids. You know, it was challenging for her. By herself, but along the way we got split up, but we still stayed as one family, Everybody got split up after they got older and stuff, I think life started to take a toll and tear her down. But she stayed strong. She was in church and stuff. She's a holy woman. She survived. She helped us survive. She gave me all the surviving skills that she figured that I needed coming up in life. I know how to cook, I know how to clean, I know how to wash, I know how to do everything. Basically, that's what she showed me.
So, being that you grew up in Illinois, how did you end up here in Minnesota?
After my mom passed. After she passed at 82 years old, she passed at 82. And I'm the youngest male of the family, so everybody is grown in my family now, so I came to Minnesota after she passed, so everybody just grew up and went their own ways. I was 45 years old when I came to Minnesota, and I'm 58 now. Life was kind of difficult for me when I moved to Minnesota, but like my mom always told me, if you can make it in your hometown, you can make it anywhere. It all depends on what you going to another place to venture off to do. Because if you're gonna do bad or wrong or anything, you might as well stay in your hometown. But you're gonna get the same results no matter where you go. I use all of my survival skills to help me come along in Minnesota. There's some faults about Minnesota, but it is what it is. It's faults in my hometown. I had to scuffle, I had to crawl before I walked. I'm on bended knees now.
So was it a relationship that brought you here, or was it a job? Or
No, as my mom passed, I lived with my mom, and she stayed in the high rise, so when she passed, I had to go. But I never depended on my other sisters and brothers to housing me, to help me grow. I challenged that on my own, so I was homeless back home in my hometown. I was sleeping out in the parks and staying at the shelters and stuff, when I was really being a knothead and stuff, I got kicked out the shelter. So they ended up having to live out on the streets, you know. But along comes with that, we had a family reunion one year. And my nephew, he lives up here in Minnesota. He came down, and I was sleeping in his brother's car. Well, I was sneaking around, sleeping in his brother's car at night. You know, he didn't know I was sleeping in his car. You know, so I guess they got together and like, man, Unc need help. You know, Unc need help. He need to get, you know, he's our mentor. You know, so you have to look out for him. So my nephew put me in the car and told me, let's go to Kmart if I can buy this and buy that. So along with that, I was drinking, and I got a little tipsy, and I think I might have fell asleep in the car. And when I woke up, I was in Minnesota. When I woke up, I was right here in Minnesota.
So how did you feel homelessness was where you were at compared to when you showed up in the Twin Cities?
It was kind of fair, I believe. It was more. It was more unity back then. You know, when I was homeless in '99 and 2000. My mom passed away in 2002. So it was civil. I think it was civil. It was fair. I mean, it's not like the shelter, like the Salvation Army up here. You know, you didn't have people wigging out, bugging you, you know, telling you what you can do and what you can't do, you know, disrespecting you. You know, it's a lot of unity in the Salvation Army back home. You know.
Well, it sounds like relationships are really important to you. So, do you still keep in contact with your siblings at all?
Oh yeah, I'm going home for Mother's Day this year. I ain't been home in 18 years for Mother's Day. You know, but I'm going home. I told my sister now I'm coming home. They're like, oh, it's about time. You know, but you know, I always go home twice a year anyway. You know, but usually about 5 years, 6 years back, only time I show up at home is for I can't get past a holiday, or Christmas, or New Year's, or 4th of July without somebody passing away in my home. You know, so I'm down to 4 sisters and 2 brothers. You know, my oldest brother is still living, and I'm the baby brother, still living. So, you know, everybody else can pass on. You know, so my niece and nephew, they kind of look up to me because my oldest brother, he stays in Florida. He stays in Florida, so I'm the closest uncle around them that they got. So I make sure that all of my nieces and nephews know who's Uncle Melvin is. Yeah. So when I go home, they be like my oldest nieces and my second nieces and my third nieces, because I'm a great uncle. You know, my first oldest and niece and nephews, I got about 25 older nieces and nephews, and I got about 36 great nieces and nephews, and I got 52 great nieces and nephews. So they all look up to me, you know. And when I go home, they like, oh, Uncle Melvin. They tell their kids, I'm coming home, oh, they finna get spoiled. Because when I be the babysitter, I let them do whatever they want to. If they fall down and skin their knees and elbows, I just laugh at them. I'm like, get up and try it again. You're going to say ouch one day. Yeah. You know, I keep up with my siblings.
So when you ended up in Minnesota, how long were you living without a place to call home?
For almost about a year and a half, 2 years. I'm thinking about 2 years. Because I got my place in, where I'm staying at now, I got my place in 04 or 05. You know, I stayed down in Salvation Army. Well, I stayed with my nephew for a year and a half until he started with me. Then I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know nothing about Mary Jo's, Simpsons, or any other of these places. I just basically just followed the crowd. And the crowd showed me my way. But after I found out what Mary Jo's was, I was kind of silly. I was being laid back. And so I got my place in, I think, in 04, 03 or 05. I think I got my place and stuff.
So when you got your place, did you have to be on a wait list?
Well, basically how I got my place, it was a guy that was community manager over there, and he brought 40 applications over to St. Lutheran Church, and he gave everybody application. He's like, all y'all gotta do is pass the background check. I'm not gonna charge y'all personal rent or deposit. So he moved all half of 40 in, and I'm the only one still left out of the 40.
Now, recently, you almost had to leave your house for a moment.
I've been in my apartment 18 years, and I was bell ring I've been bell ring for the Salvation Army ever since I used to be homeless. I used to stay down there. I used to bell ring, and that's how I used to pay my rent and donate my plasma and stuff before I got on the fixed income. I got on the fixed income in 2015. And I didn't know that I had to turn in my check stubs and, let them know I was working. I thought it was piecework, But along the way, they taxed me, They took the whole, I was getting $750 a month. They went back 3 years. So they gonna tax me. What I mean by tax me, I have to pay back my earnings that I made. So that was $750. So all they was giving me was $43 a month out of my check. So I almost lost my house. And what I didn't understand was, I thought my housing was 30% of my income, and I figured that I didn't have the money that I usually get. I figured that 30%, I thought my income, my rent should go down, But it was going to go down. But I had to go all the way through the red tape for it to go down, So I winged myself out of that, You helped me out. This Central Lutheran helped me out. Y'all nurses helped me out, And so that brought me back up off bended knee, because I was about to get down on one knee, But along the way, y'all helped me out. Y'all, I appreciate y'all. Y'all help. Y'all courage. Y'all understanding. I believe that's fair. That's fair. That's fair love. Fair love.
Now, earlier today, you were talking about how people end up, being in the emergency shelter like Salvation Army should be a place to be for a moment, but not a place to live.
Right.
Why do you feel like it's turned into more of a place that people are kind of stuck in, living for years on end? Do you think that's changed? Do you think it's the same? And why do you think that's a problem?
Well, I see that's a problem because people's looking for a way out of life, and just want to live off the land, And your courage is to upgrade yourself, to monitor what you do, through life, Life ain't handed to you on the silver spoon, Some people just take advantage of that, I think some people might have gave up life, but they still got their mind to think, And I don't see no way, no how that a person with 6 senses can be homeless over 10 to 20 years. You know, I don't. You know, I don't. I just can't bear that in my mind. You know, why would you give up life? You know. I mean, living in a shelter is formed to help you come off being in need. You know, not for you to basically, this is my home. You know, it's this is not your home, really. You know, it's just a foundation for you to come to. You know, to help you so you won't be, let me see, as poorly as you want to live. You know, you can live a lot richer being poor. You know, and to be poor and to be poor. You know, and to be poor, be poor. You know, because I heard a person tell me one time. I heard a person say that there ain't no such thing as homelessness. You know, because you got all of these shelters that house and you, feed you. You know, if you got a place to go get a meal, you're not homeless. You know, I think homeless is a situation where it don't have no bare grounds, no shelters, you know, where you have to live off the land. You know, but if you got a place where you can go and shower, change clothes, and stuff like that, you know, I heard this person say that there ain't no homeless. You know, it's basically you just without, you know, without things, proper things that you ought to be common to, you know, and I don't know, it just, you know.
It almost sounds like houseless versus homeless, right?
Right.
So how did you end up hearing about the nurses at Central or the Health Commons? How did you first come here, and how did you hear about it?
Well, like I said, you know, back in 2003, 2005, when I got my homeless spot, I found out about Lutheran Church. I used to follow where people go to feed at, you know, where they used to go to feed, you know. I used to follow the crowd, but I always stuck to myself, you know. I'm always the eye that's looking in, you know. I see something good, you know. I go investigate, check it out, you know, see if it's right for me, you know. And when I came up on Central Lutheran, you know, I was like, this a place where people's intervene and understand how it is to be homeless, you know. Because somewhere along the way, some people's have came up on a original by coming to the church, you know. And I think some churches love to give back, you know, because I guess everybody have a family that goes through, you know, trials and tribulations, you know, and they understand about how a person can be vulnerable, you know, or how to think trying to be vulnerable without, you know, things that they grew up with, things that they grew out of, you know, because these churches help. I mean, if you enlighten yourself on and understand about what a church is, you know, it'll help you. You know, it will help you. You know, I mean, it ain't gonna be in the order that you want it to be. You know, but you got to improvise. You know, the situation that they in. You know, because they have life after this too. They have a family you have to raise. You know, you're not their only responsibility. You know, you have to bring responsibility to the table too. You know, you just can't take on just can't accept all of their responsibility for you. You know, you got to bring some responsibility to the table.
So, what are some reasons that you or other people come to the nurses at Central?
Well, when I started coming to you guys, I had a need, you know, not a physical, mental needs or nothing like that, you know, but I can feel the enjoyment, you know, from you guys, you know. I can feel the life, you know, the life that y'all share, you know, with each and every one of us, you know. And some people, you know, I think some people just can't understand that, but I do, you know. I know what I like, you know, and if I run into a situation where somebody is talking, you know, Andre or being, you know, being above life, you know, I don't deal with it, you know. You go to talking arrogant, you know, miss me, you know, miss me with that, you know. Because I can talk arrogant too, but that ain't gonna lead us back to stage one, you know. That ain't gonna lead us back to stage one, you know. But I can feel enjoyment, you know. When I met you guys, you know, I used to didn't say nothing. You know, I was always a closed mouth, you know. I was always a closed mouth. But after I got to learn of y'all and, you know, and y'all got to show me about how y'all feel about a person and what y'all got to feed a person you know, got to understand it, you know, then I start opening up, you know, because I am a joker, you know, I like to joke, you know, I like to start my conversation off with a joke, you know, to get to the realistic things that I really need to talk to you about or ask you about, you know.
Well, so how do you think we could better welcome people in the space, or do people feel welcomed, or how could we do that better?
Well, I think good people's, well, everybody is good, you know. Everybody is good. You can take the good with the bad with the good, you know. But I think y'all is more of a slice of cake, you know. More of a slice of cake. Once you taste your cake and you taste how sweet it is, you just gonna keep inviting yourself back more and more and more, you know, to get another slice, you know. Get another slice, you know. Y'all a good welcome back. Y'all is. I mean, it's when you come in here, most people like to, I don't know, they just like to be around you guys, you know. They like to be around you guys, you know.
Well, I do have a lot of students who work inpatient nearby in different hospitals and see some folks that are here that they often see like in the ER and say that people often act different when they're here versus in the ER setting. What do you think that's about? Why do you think that people might act different in the ER versus coming in and asking for a blood pressure or something in this setting?
I guess because they feel more comfortable around you know. I mean, I'm quite sure they feel comfortable in the ER, but you have all of these moving pictures, you know, moving around you, you know, and you don't know what picture to point the finger at, you know. Here, you ain't got to point the finger, you know. It's just nothing but love, you know. It's just something about you guys and y'all area, you know, just draws attention. Everybody just want to be around, you know, around the nurses, you know, because I believe y'all most down to earth, you know. You ain't got too many pictures to point the finger at, you know. You ain't got, you know, and some people just can't take no for an answer. And since I've been coming in here, what y'all use as a word no it gets a lot of people's strength. You know, y'all don't use the word no as a meaning thing or Andre thing, you know, but, you know, I guess in the ER, you know, you hear no, it's like, you know, they saying it to you in an Andre way, you know, so you feel not capable of being helped, you know, you just being like a guinea pig, just being you know. And here, y'all filter out all the, y'all try to filter out all the weakness that somebody come and talk to you about, you know. You know, you try to help them, you know, mentor their lives, you know. And I think that's a good thing. You know, everybody just feel warm and welcome around you. I know I do, you know. That's why I come in here. I do my little show. That's why I come in here and sit. You know, it's like it's like y'all is let's see. Y'all are like my new mentors, you know, in life, you know. Every time I come in here, I'm not looking for nothing. I ain't looking for no handouts or, you know, I'm just looking for construction, you know. Construction, you know, that makes my day, makes my next hour go, you know, not crazy, but, you know, go wild and loose and understanding, you know. And that's why I come in here, you know. I get about if Mondays, Thursdays, if I sleep over 9 o'clock, after 10 o'clock, if I miss and I come through here, they're like, oh man, my day gonna be rough. Because I didn't get to come over to meet my people. You know, they give me enjoyment in life, you know. They don't tell me no all the time, you know.
So you volunteered here many times actually. Yeah. So how is it for you when you volunteer?
Oh, it was nice, you know. It was nice. I mean, I get answered some questions that I couldn't answer, you know. And people come to you and, you know, and look for answers, you know. Look for that certain question. You know, they got to hear these certain words, you know, that you can provide for them, you know. And it's sometimes I enjoy volunteering. I mean, it helps me out. You know, it helps me out to understand how people are, you know, or how I am. You know, it helps me out, you know, with my mental stage, you know.
So, what do you think we could do better in the Health Commons?
I really couldn't say.
For example,
right now, y'all. Right now, I think y'all. Let me see. Right now, I think y'all complete. You know, whatever you think that you can offer us, you know, it'll be complete. You know, but right now, everything is, to me, is complete. You know, I can't see, look around and see no faults that y'all ain't serving the people well and stuff. Y'all serving the people just, you know, just as promises that is needed.
Some people have said things like we should have more days or we should do outreach or things like that. But do you think we need to do more, or is the 2 days fine? And
well, 2 days, an extra day wouldn't be bad, you know. An extra day would be bad, but if the people, I mean, try extra days if the people show up, you know. People have to show up, you know.
So what do you think some of the biggest barriers are for people who are experiencing homelessness or marginally housed to access things around health, whether it's health care or get basic needs met? Like, what do you think the biggest barriers are?
I think most people need to be talked to, but they won't. Some people, I think, is they catching themselves about to slip into a mental state, and they hoping to come here that y'all guys are here to help them, you know, be positive, you know, before they slip into that mental stage, you know, and I think they count on you guys. You know, I think they really do. You know, because like I said, you know, when I miss a day, my day, it seems like I missed out on a whole lot of stuff. You know.
So you know that we have a lot of nurses who volunteer and students. So if you could tell them one thing when they're coming in that they should think about doing when they're working with folks when they're open, what's one thing that the nurses or volunteers should be thinking about?
Well, if they first time, they think about. They think everybody that you look into is their first time.
Mm.
You know, it's their first time. You know, it just, you know, just follow the good. You know, just listen to the voice. You know, of a person. You know, and you know, don't challenge it. Just listen and be like, okay, you know, this sounds well enough. You know, it sounds well enough for me. You know.
Well, that's all the questions that I have. Is there anything that you want to add that we didn't ask? Sammy, do you have a question?
Well, me, I like coming here for once. You know, like I said, when I miss a day, when I miss a Monday or Thursday, it's like even though I be going out of town, you know, like I'm going home for Mother's Day and I'm leaving on the 9th, and my mind gonna be like, oh man, what are they doing? You know, oh man, what are they doing? You know, I miss what makes me excited. You know, and when you miss something that makes you excited, it seems like your whole day is just ruined. You know, because you miss the message, you miss the feeding part, you know, the growth part, you know, the education part, you know. Seems like you just missed something, you know. But other than that, you know, I'm well off. I'm about complete now. I'm about complete with you guys. You know, y'all just wonderful. Y'all is really wonderful.
This has been really fun because you're such a quiet person.
Yeah.
So to hear your thoughts has been
Oh,
great. So thank you for taking the time to talk with us and share your input on Health Commons and what we should do better. So,
all right.
appreciate it.
Whatever made the well water clean enough.